Overthinking isn't ruining your life loudly. It's ruining it quietly. Not with one big explosion. Not with one dramatic failure. But with 1,000 tiny delays that feel responsible. You call it planning, researching, being careful, waiting for the right moment, waiting until you're ready, waiting until you're confident, waiting until you're sure. And on the outside, you still look functional. You show up, you reply to messages, you keep your life together. But inside, your mind is busy and your life is still. If you overthink daily, comment ME. Because this isn't a personality trait. It's a habit loop. And the reason it's so dangerous is simple. Overthinking doesn't feel like self-destruction. It feels like self-protection. Today, I'll show you the hidden cost. What overthinking is quietly stealing from you. And the simple system to break it without becoming a robot. Because you don't need to think more. You need to move sooner. Part 1. What quietly really means. When people imagine their life being ruined, they imagine something loud. A big mistake, a public embarrassment, a breakup, a job loss, a major crisis. But overthinking doesn't ruin you like that. It ruins you quietly. It looks harmless. It looks like taking notes, reading advice, watching tutorials, rewriting messages, preparing more back, checking again, delaying decisions, thinking it through. And because it looks responsible, you don't see it as the enemy. You think, at least I'm not doing nothing. At least I'm being careful. At least I'm improving. But here's the test. After all your thinking, what did you ship? What did you send? What did you publish? What did you complete? What moved in reality? If the answer is nothing, then your mind is active but your life is not moving. That's quiet destruction. Not because thinking is evil, but because thinking has become your escape. Your brain is using thoughts to avoid exposure. And exposure is where growth happens. Story 1. I feel busy all day. This is how it usually feels. You wake up and you're mentally busy immediately. You're thinking about what you need to do, what you didn't do, what you should be doing. You spend the day bouncing. A bit of work, a bit of research, a bit of scrolling, a bit of planning. Then it's nighttime and you feel exhausted. But when you look at your life, nothing changed. No output, no progress, no evidence, just fatigue. That's the overthinking tax. And it's costing you more than you realize. Part 2. The 3 quiet ways overthinking ruins you. Damage has own. It steals your time. Overthinking steals time in a way that feels invisible. Because you're not wasting time like someone doing nothing. You're working in your head. But the result is the same. Hours disappear. You tell yourself, I'll start after I understand it. So you watch one more video, then another, then another. You tell yourself, I'll send the message after I rewrite it. So you rewrite it 10 times. Then you don't send it. You tell yourself, I'll decide after, I'm sure. So you list pros and cons until your brain is numb. And at the end of the week, you realize you didn't fail. You postponed. Overthinking doesn't take your life in one day. It takes it in small, repeated delays. And that's why it's so deadly. Because it feels harmless. Damage #2. It destroys self-trust. This is the one nobody talks about. Overthinking destroys self-trust. Because you keep promising yourself action and then delaying. You say, tomorrow I'll start. Then tomorrow comes and you don't. You say, I'll send it today. Then you overthink and postpone. You say, this time I'm serious. Then you wait for confidence that never arrives. After enough repeats, your brain learns one message. We don't follow through. And when you don't trust yourself, you overthink more. Because you're trying to compensate with control. Overthinking is what the brain does when self-trust is weak. So it becomes a loop. Low trust, more thinking, less action, lower trust. That's why you can be intelligent and still feel powerless. You're not evidence-rich. You don't have proof that you do what you say, so your mind spins searching for certainty, instead of building trust with action. Damage #3. It kills opportunities. Opportunities have windows. A job opening, a relationship moment, a business idea, a trend, a chance to publish. Overthinkers miss windows waiting for certainty. They wait until they're ready. But ready is a feeling, and feelings are liars. Meanwhile, someone else, someone less talented, less smart, less prepared, moves. They apply, they publish, they ship, and they get the opportunity. not because they're better, because they're faster to act. Overthinking doesn't just delay your life, it hands your life to other people. Quietly. Part 3. The overthinking loop. Now, let's expose the structure behind the quiet damage. This is the loop. Trigger, fear, story. Thinking, binge, temporary relief, no action, shame, repeat. Trigger. Something real shows up. A decision, a message, a deadline, a risk. Fear, story. Your brain whispers. What if I fail? What if I look stupid? What if they judge me? What if I regret it? Thinking, binge. You escape into thoughts. Planning, researching, replaying, rewriting, checking, asking for advice. Temporary relief. You feel better for a moment. Not because the problem is solved, because you avoided exposure. No action. The day ends. Nothing ships. Shame. You feel guilty. You feel behind. You feel stuck. Repeat. Shame increases anxiety. Anxiety demands control. Control becomes more thinking, and the cycle tightens. Here's the key line. The relief is the reward. That's why your brain repeats the behavior. So to break overthinking, you don't need better ideas. You need to break the reward. You need to stop rewarding the binge and replace it with a smaller action reward. That's the system. Story 2, tomorrow. Overthinking rarely says, I quit. It says tomorrow. Tomorrow feels harmless. Tomorrow feels responsible. Tomorrow feels like control. But tomorrow is where your life goes to die quietly. Not in one big dramatic moment. In tiny delays. In tiny excuses. In tiny later. You don't lose your future in one day. You lose it in 1,000 small decisions that feel innocent. And the worst part? You don't even notice you're losing. Because you're always preparing. So now let's fix it. Part 4. The quiet reset system. Break it today. This is the system. Simple, repeatable. 3 steps. Aim, name it. 2. Cut the reward. 3. Replace with one small action. Step 1. Name it, 2 seconds. When you catch yourself spiraling, say, this is overthinking. Not, I'm broken. Not, I'm lazy. Just overthinking. Labeling creates distance. You stop being the thought. You become the observer. And the observer can choose the next move. Step 2. Cut the reward 10 seconds. The reward is relief. So when the urge hits, don't feed it with more research, more replay, more checking, more rewriting. Instead, reset the nervous system. Inhale normally, exhale longer than you inhale. In for 2, out for 4, do it twice. Then ground quickly. 3 things you see, 2 things you feel, 1 thing you hear. This is not about becoming calm forever. It's about calming enough to stop obeying the loop. Because overthinking is not a logic problem. It's a nervous system craving for control. Step 3. Replace with one small action, the truth. Now ask, what's the next tiny action that moves reality forward? Not perfect, not big, tiny. Examples. Open the file. Write 1 sentence. Record 1 minute. Draft 1 thumbnail. Send 1 message. Do 5 minutes. Overthinking dies when action begins. Because action creates evidence. Evidence creates trust. Trust reduces fear. Fear is what creates overthinking. So action is not just productivity. Action is therapy. Not dramatic therapy. Daily therapy. 1 small step. The 1 rule that stops relapse. Here's the rule that saves you. No new thinking unless you execute it today. No new planning. No new research. No new optimization until you produced 1 small output, 1 paragraph, 1 minute, 1 step. Because planning before action is where the addiction lives. Action first, then thinking. Thinking becomes useful again only after movement starts. Part 5, the 7-day challenge. Here's your challenge. 7 days. Every time you catch the spiral, aim, name it. Keto, reset. 3, 1 small action. That's it. Day 1, 2, just catch it and name it. Day 3, 4, interrupt the binge faster. Day 5, 7, replace it with action automatically. At the end of 7 days, you'll notice something. Your mind still thinks, but it stops controlling you. Because now you have evidence. I move, and that identity is the opposite of overthinking. Overthinking is the identity of I'm not safe to act. Action builds the identity of, I can handle it. Overthinking is ruining your life quietly, not with big failure, with small delays, so stop treating it like intelligence. It's fear. Break the loop. Name it. Cut the reward. Replace with one tiny action. If you want the next video, how to stop night spirals, comment next. And if this hit you hard, share it with a friend who plans their whole life and never starts.